of things and not much of work, but at least one of them did with Phil Lord of the Ring. So that's the positive thing about it. Guys, if you are listening to us or watching us, please tell us what kind of format you like because we made many of them, like really many of them, and they're usually 10, 15 views max. So is it because we are not advertising enough? Maybe that's it. Is it because you are not interested in it? And then maybe you can tell us what exactly you want to see. Is it more Lord of the Ring mobile game kind of stuff like Phil does? Tell us. We're very happy to keep talking about games with you. But what you have to do, because we're not quitting, is this podcast. This podcast is very good. We are talking about very interesting things every week when there's no technical issue, but almost every week. So I think that's a very good show, and you have to watch us. Subscribe.
Adam, any thoughts on what Antoine said?
Sorry, I'm trying to fix all our technical problems here. So just to give everybody a little bit of a background on what's going on today and why, if you've been watching, you'll see some of the problems, or if you've been listening, there's been dead silence up until maybe a few seconds ago. The reason for that is recently I was messing around with some stuff on my computer, and then I had to switch my audio over to the speakers, and I forgot to set them back, so it wasn't picking up audio. And yeah, as for the camera issues, that was because I thought I was pulling from my main screen, but I was pulling from my second screen, which made all the sizes wrong. So then I adjusted them, and then I realized it was wrong, put it to my main screen, and then I had to readjust all the sizes again. So, but yeah, Antoine did a good job talking about what he was talking about.
Oh, great. But didn't you say you had some little technical issues? So basically I was just speaking, but no one could listen?
They heard the last part.
What's the last part? Define last part. Okay, Korean, shoot. What's your question? Go on. We are super very organized today. It's okay. It's
Go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say, as a recap, Antoine was basically just saying that we've been doing this for a while now. Phil unfortunately can't be here, but we'll try to include his thoughts again later. But basically today we're going to be talking about all the things that we would like to see with the show, changes that we might have in the future, or things that we would like to update or do better, or maybe cut, or those sort of things. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
For instance, there's a person on the chat, and we want to see more of you there.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Thank you, though. That was good, because otherwise we would have had a completely silent episode.
All right, to Antoine's points, yes, the I don't know what happened with the podcast and stuff. That's because I just haven't had any time to check until like after Chinese New Year. And I think, I mean, a lot of the podcasting stuff is not very strange because we are in like one of the most competitive segments out there. Having like, I listen to a good like 4 or 5 hours of podcast, no more than that a week. And like there are a lot of trends that we just haven't capitalized on. Like Adam made a good point of this the other week. He said like we used to do this segment called Player Plus 3, and I think that's a fantastic idea because people like to listen to other people's stories, and that's a trend I've seen. Of course, there's like the whole true crime trend in podcasting as well, where people investigate crimes and report on that. That's impossible because we can't. So we not really can tie that into gaming in a way. There's also as well, like I'm only publishing on Sundays now just because of work scheduling and stuff. That was always like when we were publishing during the week was always a great, because I mean, that's when Adam and I, before we started the podcast and I did research into it, like the best days of the week were in the mornings, EST's time for publishing, and I'm publishing Sundays as well. So at some point I need to figure out a schedule change to be publishing during the week as far as the podcast goes. But yeah, my thoughts so far is like, and then I talked about this with Adam before, and I was like, oh, maybe we should cancel the podcast. And I'm like, no, actually, because I enjoyed this moment during the week because I won't get to see Adam anymore because I don't teach anymore. And of course, Antoine is, 14,000 kilometers away in Canada. So that's impossible because, even though a lot of places don't have quarantine, Taiwan still has 17 days of quarantine, or 10 days technically if you have a house that has more than 2 bathrooms. So it's going anywhere is still going to be a bit of a pain. But yeah, it's the only time I get to talk about games, because I mean, if I'm playing games or I'm playing with my friend Hans during the week, it's we play just play the game. We don't really talk much, and now we get to talk about games, gaming culture, gaming news, the fact that the Steam Deck is doing really well, and that Game Pass might be on the Steam Deck, stuff like that. So yeah, that is my 2 cents, Mr. Gray.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was thinking when you said like you can't really do true crime with games, but I was thinking you kind of can. I mean, that's kind of what I did with the PS Vita retrospective kind of thing, going into the details and stuff like that. So I mean, you can do that sort of thing, games that disappeared, scale bound and whatnot. But that does take a lot of research and does take a lot of time to kind of get into. I've always wanted to do another retrospective. I did the Vita one. I was very proud of it, but it took me a long time to do. And I've been wanting to do two more. One on the Sega Nomad, which was a portable console, but it was basically running the Sega Genesis or the Sega Master. Was it Master Drive, Master System, Mega Drive? But it was a portable Mega Drive or a portable Genesis, which was pretty amazing back for its time. I mean, it's kind of like the Switch of its time. So I wanted to do one on that because that wasn't super popular, and I also wanted to do one on the Sega Channel, which was one of the earliest ways that you could do game streaming, basically, where you could pay for a cable package and download your games to your Sega Genesis or your Sega Mega Drive, and play them basically almost over the internet. So I've always wanted to do things like that, but it takes a long time. The longest one is just getting the assets down. I've noticed when I do the videos, when I cut for instance, cutting today's episode, cutting it and putting together the episode is really quick. I can do that in an hour and basically have everything done with the exception of maybe some of the rendering time of just letting the computer run. But what ends up taking me like 3-4 hours is doing all the thumbnails. So it's always the art that takes you the longest time. And putting together videos like that, you need a lot of the art to kind of go in. So, but I would love to do more of those. That was a lot of fun.
I mean, that was really fun to watch, and like really like a quality of content that I've only really seen professional channels do, and you did it like in between. I don't know how the hell you managed to pull that magic off. And I was just looking at the channel as well, because I have not looked at our YouTube channel in forever. And funnily enough, Adam, the OG video, Razer Black Shark versus Cooler Master MH630, is the most popular non-gaming video we have, or non-Lord of the Rings video we have.
Yeah, Phil's videos do well.
I do agree on the fact that hardware videos or podcast, the podcast we made, remember, on the microphones, scored very well on podcasts. So I think that's a trend that we could follow. And Adam, I could help you on this, at least on the script, because if any of you have watched my streaming or anything, my videos are dreadful. First of all, because I'm a French speaker and my English is laborious. I can go by in an hour a podcast, but for a 20-30 hour stream, I go back to French, literally. So that's just too tough for me. So yeah, I could help you on the script because thanks to Korean, oh, that's so cool. We have to, of course, edit this podcast every week, and it took 2-3 hours every week. And now Korean arrived with some kind of magical software which get me all this time free, and that's really really cool for me, so I can restart doing stuff maybe, because I very recently changed my job, and I'm gonna need at least another 6 months to get used to it, because it's quite technical, and I'm working like a good 10 hour a day work, so it's a bit tough for me. Like, for instance, I was doing La Forteresse du Chaudron Noir in French, and it did have a good score on podcast and everything, and I really love it, except I haven't done an episode since mid-December, simply because I just don't have time, and it's terrible. So I'm gonna restart this as soon as I can, but at this time it's just a bit time consuming. Job is a bit time consuming. So as soon as I'm kind of used to it and have less requests, hopefully, then I can restart doing this at least. But for now, if you want, I can do some script, some research while I'm working. When I have some downtime, I can do this. At least it could help.
Yeah, Jamil has a comment here saying that basically the only reason he found us was because of Phil's videos. If you look online, and this is something that I noticed too, if you're looking on the YouTube viewer count, it's like, you hit any of Phil's videos, it's like, 300, 400, 500, and then any other video, it's usually less than 10. And I think half of those are probably Antoine and his wife watching just to boost the viewer count. So yeah, Phil's been doing really, really well, and then he doesn't make it on the show because he's been so busy with his other things.
He must be sleeping right now.
Oh, he's definitely sleeping right now. Phil goes to sleep at something like 6 a.m. and then wakes up at like 4 in the afternoon or something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, Adam, after the headset video, the PS Vita video is number 2.
Really, more than Phil's?
No. I mean,
No.
as in non-Lord of the Rings videos, the number 1 is the headset, number 2 is the PS Vita video.
Yeah.
And of
Jamil's
course,
saying
number 1 to 10 is Lord of the Ring.
Yeah.
1 to 20 or 30 actually.
Yeah. Jamil's here is saying, we should try some more new games. I've been trying. I've been doing Horizon Forbidden West, and I was debating whether I should do Elden Ring or not. And then I was thinking like, oh, I probably should have done Elden Ring, just because I think that's bigger than Forbidden West right now, just because it's multi-platform. But yeah, we'll have
but
to
so
see.
many big YouTubers are already.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is a lot of newer games. It's sometimes there's an oversaturation. I think part of the reason Phil did so well with Lord of the Rings is because being a mobile game, it wasn't as big as some of these AAA reveals, but because it was Lord of the Rings, it still has a huge following. And he just kind of jumped right on it. And he had been watching it since before it even came out. So, as soon as it came out, he just started pumping out content for it right away. And but I remember even Phil was saying at one point, he was like, yeah, I'm playing this game 8 hours a day and I'm burned out. And that's why I think it was towards the end of season 1, he stopped posting stuff for a couple weeks. Like I just can't keep up with it.
Even right now, I think he has done season 3 since 2 weeks or something like this, and he was really waiting to see what this season would look like because he was starting to get a bit tired of this game.
Yeah.
So
If you
possibly you might see him on other game. He tried to do another game like recently. I don't remember, like a Warhammer Armada.
He did a Warhammer one, yeah. It wasn't
Gothic
as big.
Armada.
Yeah.
So you might see Phil on different games soon if he gets really tired of Lord of the Ring.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was definitely a right place at the right time, and that's one of the hardest things to do. I think is getting in the right place at the right time. For instance, right after Bill did that, we had the idea of, okay, maybe we should each try the mobile game, and we did that mobile game episode, where we each tried different games, and it became very apparent that Antoine and myself are not big mobile gamers. So, because I tried Infinite Lagrange, and it was fine for like the first week or so, but then after that, I started hitting all those walls of the paywalls and whatnot, and the constantly having to get back into it because if you don't like, because it's not a single player game. It's it's multiple people at the same time, and if you're not constantly doing things, you're gonna fall behind, and then people take territory and stuff like that. So yeah, I wasn't so much into that one. And then I tried doing Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, and I was playing that pretty regularly. I was playing that pretty much every day, but I only streamed it once. But that's because that game currently is really hard to get to work, just because it's not compatible with BlueStacks, or I think it's only compatible really right now with Nox, which is kind of like BlueStacks, but it crashes all the time, and it's just it's not compatible with PCs currently.
My question on that point, it might be counterproductive, but you must have seen, of course, like everyone, that Windows 11 was out like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and that they are very good at doing what BlueStack does. And my question was, can you stream games from Windows 11? Still advertising for BlueStack, of course. We're still recommending BlueStack. But would it work for you to do this? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't upgraded to Windows 11 yet. So yeah, as Jamil says, you know, if you have to work every time, then those kind of games are not right for you. Thing, and that's what it was for me, is just the fact that when I play, I kind of play haphazard, where I'll have a big block of time. Like, for instance, for me, I have my Mondays and my Tuesdays are pretty open. You know, I only have one class on Wednesdays and Tuesdays. And then the rest of the week, I'm just super busy. It's all compacted into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Sunday, you know, it's family time. So I'll do a huge block of gaming on Monday, Tuesday, and then not so much for the rest of the week. And for a game like that, you know, if you know, Monday and Tuesday I can keep up, but then, you know, if I have to wait another 5 days before I can play again, it's yeah, it could be a problem. And I have no intention of updating to Windows 11. I'm sticking with Windows 10. That kind of irritated me, I'll be honest, when Microsoft came out and they said Windows 10 is the last one, and we're just gonna do it, you know, iterations of it, and we're gonna just upgrade it. And I was like, yay, that's great. And then they're like, Windows 11. I'm like, you promised me. But so I was a little bit irritated when they said they were coming out with Windows 11. But I haven't upgraded yet. And then I also, this is something that this is not gaming related, but when I was in university, I studied art and computer science. Those were my two things. And on the art side, it was graphic design. And so we were using Macs, and for the most part, and they had, I think, like in the entire room, they had all Macs with like maybe one or two PCs. And so I learned it on a Mac, but everyone's always telling me Macs are so much easier to learn. Macs are so much they're more user friendly, this, that, and the other thing. And as somebody who had always used a PC, I was like, no, I don't know. This is not, you know, where are things here? You know, like Windows are easy, you know, folders are easy. What is this weird system where you have everything organized, you know? So I don't think they're inherently more intuitive, but yeah, so the fact that with Windows 11, they were like, oh yeah, we're going more for that Mac design with a dock and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I like having a button that I press, and then it's just trees to go to where I want. That's very intuitive to me, rather than this dock. And if it's not on the dock, then I'm like, how do I find it? So, not moving to Windows 11 anytime soon. Anyway, that was my tangent.
Yeah, I mean, on Windows 11 as well, I don't know if you guys have seen the Android or the mobile component of Windows 11 is not officially ready yet. It doesn't support everything, so we wouldn't be able to play stuff on there just yet.
Yeah, that's a good question too, because like the way I did stream First Soldier once, and I could do it again, but it is a bit of a hassle because what I have to do is I have to stream my video from the phone to the PC. So you have to do, what was it called? Screen sync or something like that? You remember what it's called? Where it displays your Windows, it displays your phone as a window on the desktop.
Emulation? I don't remember.
It's not emulation. It's just mirroring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's called mirroring.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a special thing on it. It's called Link to Windows. Okay, there's an actual thing on the phone called Link to Windows. Okay. And what it does is it shows your screen, but it does not do your audio. So what I have to do then is I have to take my phone and hook my phone into audio output, and then put that in as like a microphone, or I have to, you know, run some certain things in debug mode to get the sound. Yeah, screencast. That's what it is, screencast. And so I have to do that, and I have to run the sound in through the computer, and then even then, so I've got these wires coming out of the phone, and then I'm trying to play on the phone with wires coming out of it at the same time, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so irritating that I have to play on the phone. I mean, I could hook up a controller, but the DS5, for some odd reason, doesn't map correctly. I don't know why. It thinks like it thinks the options button is R2 or something like that. So the DS5 wasn't mapping correctly, and I've heard DS4 works well, but I gave my PS4 and all my controllers to my niece, so I don't have any.
But didn't you get a new controller for the phone?
I did, and I liked it. It was really good. But the thing is again, you're having wires pulled out. You know, you're having wires coming out of it at the same time. And well, most games do play on BlueStacks. It's just this one particular game happens to not. But it's the one particular game that I enjoy. Oh, bit of irony there. So, but yeah, so I've been playing that. It's a lot of fun. But then that was the thing is I played it a lot. I played it, like I said, I played it a lot. And then my friends, every Thursday, I meet with some old high school friends. Actually, they're elementary school friends, but guys that, you know, we went to school with back in the day. And my one friend was like, "Oh, there's this game called Apex Legends," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to stream it." And then now they think I'm an arrogant, you know, they're like, "Oh,
YouTubers.
you used to stream it," ooh, you know. But I was like, "Yeah, I used to stream it." So I've been getting back into Apex, and then once I got back into Apex, it was like, why am I playing a mobile battle royale when I can play a console battle royale, and it just feels so much better.
We should try to do that as a team.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to try with you.
Yeah, I'm not that good, so you know.
And Phil, because Phil would be the boss.
I don't know if Phil plays FPSs though.
I don't think so. He played the Warhammer one, but I think he's not a big fan of it.
No,
Well, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
one
I'm sure he
Yes,
does.
so.
I don't think he's like super into FPSs. You know, you have those people that are like FPS is my thing, and I don't think FPS is really Phil's thing.
Oh, we wouldn't play to be competitive, of course. On the contrary, I mean,
Oh, we wouldn't be competitive.
we,
I'll tell you that
we
much.
would play for the laugh. Because I like laughing with you, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that the you know, like 13 or 15 years old kid in front, you know, killing us, you know, all the time and camping us would laugh a lot as well.
Oh, I'm sure they would. But unfortunately, Apex is 3 players, so we couldn't have all 4 of us at the same time.
Yeah.
When is the last time you got the
Trios.
whole 4 of
Yeah, I
us
think
at
Phil
the
likes
same time?
strategy games, RTSs. I know he's really big into some of those old RTSs like Command and Conquer and that. So I think that's more of his thing.
We could do 4 of us versus the AI and Age of Empires 4.
and lose.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Anton, what's your thoughts on mobile gaming?
Really? Yay!
Really? I like that reaction.
I like the Candy Crush type of mobile game, you know, like this kind of puzzle stuff. I actually saw on BlueStack at some point like a survival puzzle stuff, which I thought, that actually might be my kind of thing. But that's kind of it. As Adam said earlier, you know, he did Infinite Lagrange. And by the way, you should go to see the video, because even if it was hard for him to play the game, I found the video, which is technically very good. I really love how he edited the video together. So I really like it. And why my video never went out? What was the name of the game I was playing? Zombie stuff. Apocalypse. Whatever.
Yeah.
State of Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, State of Survival. So why my video is never gone onto the channel is because, as I said, I am terrible at making videos, and the sound of the game and the sound of my voice were completely different, and it was just inaudible, and that's why I never went. So, me streaming mobile game? No. Do I like mobile game? Yeah, kind of. You know, like if I have 5 minutes, I like to do a puzzle quick, and that's it. But no, like I have been spending my night when I should have been sleeping, playing Horizon Forbidden West, and that's it. You know, like it's a bit tough for me to do mobile games unless, you know, there's something which really catch my eye, and in mobile, it's not really. Like, I think there was a Final Fantasy game that I liked a while ago, like Mobius or Edge
Oh, Mobius?
something.
Yeah.
No, not Mobius. I think something else, like with a longer name. Anyway, I found it pretty cool, and for 3 or 4 hours, and after I found that's the problem of mobile game, just repetition. It's always the same. Like, I'm bored. I'd rather do a Horizon and then be crazy about the story and do some instant lore on YouTube, which doesn't work. But I like doing it, and I really like like Adam voice when he do the voice of the instant lore. So I like listening it for myself at least.
Yeah, I always feel like whenever I do the voices, like in my head, I have what my voice sounds like, and then when I hear myself, oh gosh, dang it, these gosh darn things, I keep blocking them. But yeah, I don't know. In my head, I sound really nasally. Like when I hear myself talking, I'm like, do I really sound like that? Oh my god.
I really prefer your voice compared to mine, to be honest. So
I think that's everybody, though. I think everybody prefers somebody else's voice to their own.
yeah, but objectively, your English accent's better.
And Adam's always got that sort of sultry voice that all the students like, all the women like. It's just, I used to be jealous of your French accent, and then I met Adam, and I'm like, oh god,
It's that southern drawl.
Oh, you play.
But yeah.
All right, so to sum up, podcast keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming, I'm definitely with you guys. I'm not a big fan of it. It's I don't think we need to do it because I mean we're not. I think we can still find our way to the sort of golden horizon of earning some money from streaming, maybe not streaming, earning some money from content, be it podcasts or because it was amazing. Like on the crypto podcast, not even I was like maybe I have like double the downloads we have. That's not like 16 downloads a day, and I still was able to get like sponsorship emails and do an advertise emails and that sort of stuff. So that this standard is not high. I mean,
thanks.
Ouch.
I mean, not that
and he got fired the day after. Sorry, mate.
not that that is a great thing, but I'm saying it's like we can't get there on with the sort of the I can't remember what the English word is. The sort of core philosophy of what middle-aged gaming is that gaming our way at our age when we have to, what we want to play, because Adam gets to play Monday and Tuesdays now. He can't play any other days. I play for 1 hour, and if I play for anything longer than an hour, my soul starts to feel guilty and say, Korea and do some work. And Antoine has, 2 kids and a wife, so he can't play, plus a new job, which is technically difficult, so he can't play a lot either. So I think in my view anyway, I mean, realistically, I haven't streamed in a while just because it's just like setting up streaming, taking down streams, writing all the stuff took like 15 minutes out of an hour gaming session, and which is why I don't stream anymore. But I want to, and I'm going to do it at some point. But yeah, and I think for me, I'm still, when I do go back to streaming or do go back to video content, it's just going to be me playing whatever the hell I'm playing, right? Be it Switch, because I've got a ton of game selection. And at some point, fingers crossed, I can get a Steam Deck in December. And then I'll be streaming from there, which would be really cool. But yeah, I think, and you guys let me know what you think, is that we just sort of, we can, if Phil's happy doing mobile content, let him do it, and we can do our own thing and see how it goes.
I'm perfectly fine riding on his coattails,
yeah. Thanks, Phil. You're not here, but thanks.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I always felt kind of funny because when Korean originally was like, oh well, maybe we should focus on more like creation content and not do the podcast, and I was thinking, to me, I'm always saying like, oh yeah, we love being here for you guys, but then I was thinking like, you know what, I think I actually do this more for me, as selfish as that sounds.
Yes.
Like I actually enjoy being here, so it's like,
yeah,
even if nobody's watching. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to stop, not even if nobody's watching, it's just fun to do this.
We're middle-aged gamers. We are selfish. That's in the title.
Yeah. So, and I do like streaming. I've been. I originally used to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today, obviously, we're filming on Tuesday. So we switched to Wednesday because of my schedule. Sorry about that. And then I started streaming Monday, Tuesday, Friday. But obviously, this week I'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday again. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it gives me kind of an excuse to get up in the morning and game, and and I'm always kind of caught in that middle ground where I'm like, okay, I could definitely go longer, but I'm not sure I want my wife to see that I was spending 8 hours today playing video games, so I'll end it here to eliminate the evidence. So,
it's on YouTube, your evidence.
I know, right? So I'll be sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm 5 hours in, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm hungry, and I am. But the thing is I'm like, I could just grab a sandwich and come back in 15 minutes, but I'm like, so. But I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, and it's way more fun when we have people on there because people talk about some random stuff, which makes it a lot of fun. So.
I don't think we mentioned it, but very quickly we talked about monetization. We have already 926 subscribers on YouTube, all thanks to Phil. Let's not hide it. So close to 1,000. So very close to be monetized, which would be nice for our show to continue. And I think we are supposed to have a Vermintide 2 game show
at some point
at 1,000. Yeah,
at 1,000,
as a special 1,000. So we still need to find some time, to set these up. Do you want to stream or just to play together and post whatever fail we do?
Oh, we can stream it. That's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can see like this how fun it is to play together for a couple of hours killing rats.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it was funny because I was sitting there the other day thinking, oh man, we should I should make a special setup just for streaming as a group. And then I was like, okay, so I have the windows, and I got it so there's the big window in the middle, and there's the windows in the corners, and they can slide in so we can feature different people. And then I realized, oh no, wait, but there's no way I can see other people's screens. So, so actually, I did all that work, and I was like, oh no, wait, this is pointless because I can't see your guys' screen, so I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So,
it happens.
Yeah, it happens, but it was fun to make. I mean, I said, I really enjoy doing this. The art, like I said, the art takes a long time, but I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, putting all that stuff together, especially the videos and things like that. For me, my wife's like, oh, you need to stop working. I'm like, this isn't work. This is play,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, podcast analytics wise, top shows. I'm sure, Adam, you can guess what is the top episode of our podcast ever.
Easy.
Audio?
The audio one.
Apex Free Fire.
Yes, Antoine knows.
The Free Fire one?
Of course.
Yeah, Apex Free Fire. Way,
789 downloads.
See, there you go. There's a mobile game again, Free Fire. I played it. It was okay, but it just got to the point where it was very clearly not necessarily pay to win, but pay to have a big advantage. And yeah, so. But Apex is just, and Apex actually surprised me because I thought you could buy skins. You can't buy skins. That's you can sometimes, but apparently most of the skins you unlock just by, you would have to open loot packs, and then occasionally you get materials, and you can create skins using materials. And I was like, oh, I can't just buy skins directly? What? But
and I'm not so really surprised on that front because for some reason, we have a lot of Indian listeners. So if you're in India, hi. And Apex and Free Fire are very popular over there. So that's why, we have lots of downloads for that.
It's not surprising because we're on Ghana, and Ghana has 300 million podcast listeners in India.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this particular episode is like 95% downloaded in India compared to the rest of the world.
That's again very normal. Very normal.
Yeah, Jamil's asking if Free Fire is pay to win. It's not pay to win, but the thing is that you can unlock characters. It's kind of like Apex where you unlock characters, but they have kind of passive buffs, like maybe they have a little bit more armor or they can carry a bit more. And those you have to unlock with real money, but that's not where the big advantage comes in. The big advantage comes in that you can basically rent weapons as a starting weapon so that as soon as you drop, you start with that weapon. You don't have to find something on the ground. And as so you could get like a really powerful LMG and just start the game with that. And
so you could win by paying.
Well, it's win for advantage. I mean, a good player could still beat you. And then because it is a battle royale, there are different tactics such as just not engaging and hiding as much as possible until the end game. And by that point, people probably have weapons that are on your level or, equal to your level or maybe even better, depending on which kind of weapon you bought. But it gives you it gives you an advantage early on in the game, and that's going to allow you to advance quite a bit more. Whereas the free players basically have to be good. So I wouldn't call it pay to win, but it's pay to have an advantage.
I think that's even a theme in a lot of games like that, like in Hearthstone. Same thing. You can do well free to play, but if you're not good, you're just gonna play for like 2 months, and then you're like, oh my god, all these guys with every single card in the game just run all over me, and we do. So it's kind of terrible.
Yeah, I think the difference is at least with Hearthstone, you kind of grind it out and get packs that way.
But
whereas
it would take freaking. You'd be
it
putting
would take a
hours
really
and
long
hours.
time, right? But in Free
You'd never
Fire,
get
some of
it
these things you
every
can only get with real world currency, basically.
So other big episodes, if there's a trend. Number 2, after the show, memorable music, Windfall, Cyberhaven, Budget Mics. That's Antoine's wonderful idea. HyperX Solocast versus Raisin Sarah Mini. The best of 2020, right? Our first best of episode. Episode 2, the back-breaking backlog.
Yeah, originally when we were looking at names, I was like, we could be the Backlog Bros, but then there were already a group called the Backlog Bros, and I was like, well, screw that. I want to copy somebody else's idea, even if they haven't posted a video or content for 2 years.
That was a cool name, though.
I know. We're up there with Mario Bros, the Backlog Bros.
All right. Let us speed up the process.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Quick answers.
Sisters.
Okay. 30-second answers, gentlemen.
30 seconds.
The 2 talkers. Time
my
commitments
stopwatch.
for this year. Antoine first.
What? Sorry.
Time commitments for this year. How busy you're gonna be?
Very.
Very busy. Okay.
Oh, crazy.
Done.
Yeah, no, again, as I said, I'm very, very busy with my work. And when I'm not working, I have kids and wife. So very busy. That's why I don't like making videos or streaming, because that's a lot of time spending for nothing, because I know that when I'm going to start editing the video, I'm going to be like, oh, how do I correct the sound? How do I correct this? How do I correct that? I'm really bad at it. I could learn, definitely, but it would take time. I much more enjoy doing stories, script, or typically the instant lore, or this one, as I was saying, like it's wonderful stories, and I really like to either count it or write it. So this, I don't mind, spending my evening on the couch while my kids are watching are watching a movie, and I can like just take a pen and a book and write it. So okay, Adam, okay, I stop.
You got 15 seconds left.
Oh, I still have
He's already over
still 10
time. What are you talking about?
I started late. No, I'm just messing with you.
All right, Adam.
It's fine.
Go
My
ahead.
schedule probably won't change too much until summer. I'm still teaching. My schedule's always kind of moving around, but it means that my mornings are typically free, and that's typically when I stream. So my schedule shouldn't change too much until we hit the summer, and then kids get off, and then when that happens, who knows? But basically, it'll be the same as what we've seen this year and last year.
I'm still trying to bring Antoine, Adam into the crypto universe, come and work with me somewhere. And then he can be full-time work at home and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. Okay, next question, gents. Your one hint, one idea for the show, something you'd like to do. Could be personally or for us to do. I mean, beyond the sort of 4-person stream for that rat game that the name escapes me already, even though we just talked about it. Yes. Okay. All right. We'll put Adam on the oh God, I can't talk today. All right, Adam, you're first.
Well, something we would like to do?
Something you would like to do personally, or something you would like us to do?
I'd like to do more reviews. I mean, I did the one for Ghost of Tsushima. That was a lot of fun, and I did that one relatively quickly. So I'd like to do more of those. Maybe I can throw one together for Horizon Forbidden West when I'm done. Maybe I can do Elden Ring, get one for that out. So I'd like to do more of the reviews. They go a little bit faster than the Vita ones, because what I can do is I can just take my own video, and then the PlayStation is really useful because you can just hit share, and then I can be like, okay, I want to climb this tower, make a video of me climbing a tower, and then I can just compile all those videos and move them where I want. So that's a little bit more convenient there. So I'd like to do more of that.
All right, Antoine, what about you?
What about you? No, you already answered. Again, I want to make
It's simpler for you.
I want to make more stories and be more involved, like writing script for you guys to record, voice or video or both. I'd like to try, having I don't know, Apex or whatever battle royale as a team. I think it would be fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least to try and see. Because again, if we have views, fantastic. But at least, if we can have fun, that would be, very, very good. That's why I do this, because I can have a little bit of fun in between all the craziness. So yeah, that's basically it. I just want us to have more fun. I don't know. Korean keep mentioning that we should advertise ourselves more, as Jamel keep was saying. They Yoshi, sorry, found us basically because of Phil, but all the rest is completely invisible. So we are not doing, like YouTube Shorts, like stuff. So we cannot make views out of this. We are way more, our videos are much more classic, but that's how we like it. Uh, I want to keep trying to do a bit more of the same, but with what tool we have, maybe more efficiently, I think.
Okay. Next, all right. What do you think is hindering us? Okay, back to Antoine first.
What? Sorry, I was trying to read at the same time. Could you repeat, please?
What do you think is hindering us? What do you think is a problem?
Time. Because if we had time, we could produce more content. We could have more maybe quality content, or we could review what are the trends. We could target our audience better. We could advertise, as you said. The advertising would be like 2 or 3 hours of doing it each show. Time. That's what we are lacking most.
Okay, Adam, what about you? What do you think is hindering us?
I'm with Antoine. I think time's a big one.
Okay.
Other than that, I think in my case, I think Phil's better at this than I am. Phil kind of has a good foresight where he's like, he can look at something, he's like, this is going to be popular. And then I think that's how he kind of nailed down Lord of the Rings, is he has that sight, and I don't have that. So I'm looking at something, I'm like, this is going to be fun. And then I play it and it's like, nobody wants to listen to me. Or there's just,
Yes,
or it's just oversaturated, right? So I see the things that are going to be obviously popular, but they're going to be oversaturated. Whereas Phil's able to see like where opportunities are. He can see opportunities better than I can. So I think in my case, a lot of it's kind of being able to identify those opportunities when they arise.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like getting in, like he got into the Lord of the Rings Discord before it launched, and he was like participating. Everyone knew who he was. Maybe that's something like if Antoine is getting into Elden Ring 2 and he jumps into the Discord, jumps into the Twitter, and you sort of participating and like, oh my God, this is, A Touré, blah, 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 64. Oh God, yeah, he's all over Twitter and blah, blah, blah. And so people get to know you that way. And from the crypto side, like that is some of the biggest episodes I've had, is because I've joined this community and I'm like, hey, I interviewed your founder, come and check me out. And people did. And it's I think that could be a stepping stone. Okay. All right. Next easy question. You can be brutally honest. What do you think is a waste of your time as regards to middle-aged gaming? If there is anything.
Editing the podcast.
Okay, brutally honest. We like it.
It's already gone. It's already gone. So
yeah, because Graves doing that. I'm kind of on the fence about editing the videos. Like, I know that, like Antoine was saying, and his wife said this too, like, oh, your videos are too long. You need to be shorter. And I don't mind editing them, but then when I'm looking at, like, the viewer counts, it's like 10 at most, usually, 8 people. And I'm kind of like, I don't mind doing it, but I mean, is there really a point,
No. I'm definitely with you on that. I think there is no point at the moment until we have time to say, hey, Adam, cut this. Let's do it. And like for social stuff, it takes me about an hour, and I have to post in like 14 places now. That's how much my social media stuff is up to. It's Twitter, and then you have to do YouTube Shorts. Then I'm doing TikTok, and freaking hell, man, in 2 weeks of TikTok, I have like 4,000 views across like 5 videos. And it's like it's impressive. And I don't advertise anything. It's just like TikTok's just so popular. So many people, the algorithm is so well done so that anybody who's interested in crypto comes across my video. So that's that. And at some point, like this year, time commitment wise for me, I will be stopping the architecture stuff, and then I'll have an extra 7-8 hours a week, and then I'll be back to doing social stuff. And then I think we'll have a chance to sort of take off. Waste of time for me, I would say, I was going to say podcast episodes. Actually, no, because I'm doing the short way and even the long way, I actually do enjoy it now because, I mean, I do it for a fair number of hours a week. A waste of time will be doing social media because I hate having to write something on Twitter and say, hey, blah, blah, and thinking what to tag, how many social media tags, hate having to upload stuff to TikTok and then YouTube Shorts and then do it on Medium or Substack, or you have to put stuff so many places at so many times, and it's a drag. I rather pay somebody to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely like I'm part of forums, but a lot of times I just don't like. I'm not the kind of person who posts. I'm the kind of person that replies a lot. And that's just, I don't know. I don't know why. I just never jump into things like that. Like, for instance, I've been going to GameFAQs for how many years since it started, I guess back in the early 2000s when I was in college, but I never made an account. I just lurked. And then now, and then there's always, I think for me, and maybe it's because I started on GameFAQs. Maybe that was bad on my part. But like things like that or Reddit. But I see it all the time where, people are like, if you're new, they're kind of like, oh, you don't have any karma, or oh, look at your new user, and then basically people just dismiss everything you have to say, and it's kind of like, why even bother talking at that point, So if I always feel like if I can get in at the beginning, I'm good. But if I'm not in it at the beginning, I'm like, I'm not going to try to jump into the pool once it's already full. But I probably should.
Okay. So maybe we should pay someone to advertise for us at least for a month, and we can see the result without and with advertising. If it really worth it, we can keep doing it, and if it doesn't, well.
Yeah. It is something I still want to try at some point, is to get like today's episode will not be edited by me. It'll be done by a professional audio engineer who does a bunch of stuff for NPR and stuff.
Does that mean we get like background music and stuff?
I have no idea what he's. I'm just interested to see what he's going to do, and it's relatively cheap. He's like $50 of a cryptocurrency called AVAX, and I'm like, sweet, yeah. I mean, why not? Crypto's gone up since Russia and Ukraine stuff.
No politics.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Last question, and then we should end. I should get ready to go out biking, and lunch and stuff. What is, out of everything that we do, right? What is something that you're most passionate about? Even though I can probably guess what everyone's answer is, just for everybody to listen to, so that they know, from the French guy, the American guy, and the South African person, what are you guys most passionate about?
Can you give us an example? You can go first this time.
Okay, sure. I'm most passionate about us spreading understanding of situations. I think as you get older, you're like, man, family, wife, kids, friends, savings, retirement, blah blah blah. It's sometimes it feels like yourself gets pushed down as you get older. And I like spreading the idea of understanding. Yes, it's okay that you're busy. Yes, you can still play games. Gaming at 40 is fine. It's acceptable. It's socially acceptable. Be who you want to be. And I like spreading that sort of social understanding, acceptance, mental health in a sense.
Okay, I'll go next. I just want to show the fact that when I was younger, I used to play, I guess like you, a lot of video games, and it doesn't really matter the video games. I was playing a bit of everything. Now I just don't have the luxury of time, and I feel myself not liking the games that I used to like very much when I was a kid, like Final Fantasy and everything. Now I'm playing them, I'm like, I'm gonna finish it because I paid for it, but I don't find it very interesting. I just like to play for the stories. I really like a good movie on cinema. I really like a good book, and it's the same for video games. I like a video game with a great story. Ghost of Tsushima recently, The Last of Us, the first one, Horizon. I really love these games because it has a very very good storytelling, and that's what I really love, and that's what I want to share in our channel. And I would like to have a bit more views on this, but unfortunately it's not happening. But that's all right. That's what I like to do, so that's what I'm gonna continue to do.
Nice. Adam?
Okay. I guess should I go into some background here? I guess you guys did. So I come from a pretty big family, 9 people. I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So for me, silence is creepy and noise is good. So I love having people around, and I think just engaging with the audience, like when Jamil comes on and chats in here, or I always get really excited when I'm streaming and somebody comes in and starts talking. And even about anything, somebody came in. I remember somebody came in the other day, or this was a few months ago, and they were in high school or something, and they were asking some random piece of advice, and I was like, oh, that's nice. So just talking about, it doesn't even have to be about games. I'm playing games, obviously, but I just love doing that. That was part of the reason why I got into World of Warcraft originally. Was it felt like it was a chat room, but we can kill dragons while we chat. And I thought that was just because back then we had AIM, or MSN Messenger, and we were chatting online all the time, and I was always on. But then when I got to WoW, it's like, wow, I can kill this dragon and talk to people at the same time. That's amazing. So I love engaging with the audience. And in some ways, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I'm really bad about the social media thing. I have Twitter, but I post maybe once every 5 months or something. I'm like, I really should get more into this. But yeah, I just love interacting with people. When people leave comments, I always like to leave a comment back and that sort of thing. And I haven't been engaged in our Discord, but I think that's mostly because most of Discord currently is about Rise to War, and it's usually involved with Phil's streams, and I don't really know what anybody's talking about. but yeah, no, I really enjoy engaging with people, and I always get really excited when somebody pops in the chat, even just to say hi or whatever. So I'm always like, yay! So.
All right. That is it for us, guys. And so, basically to sum up, we're going to keep going. We're going to stick more along the lines of the core principles of middle-aged gaming. We will update you in some way or form about Phil's thoughts at some point in the future. And next week, we will let you know, stop by. We'll surprise you with whatever topic it is. And we will be back to Wednesday morning, Taiwanese time, Tuesday evening, American time. No, Canadian time. I don't know why I said American. And thanks very much for listening. If you're listening on the podcast, please do follow us on social media, even though we're not quite there yet, but it's probably the only way you'll sort of be informed about podcasts and that sort of stuff.
And if you engage, we'll engage more. So
yes, subscribe on your podcast player of choice. That would definitely help us a lot. Subscribe on YouTube as well. And we will see you guys next week.
See you then.
Guys. Bye-bye.